Hi, everyone. Welcome back. The weather is a lot better here. No more hurricanes, which there really are never hurricanes here in West Virginia, which is lucky. How is the weather where you guys are?
Very nice. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. It is sunny. The birds are chirping. We had a little rain earlier here, but the weather is fantastic. Amazing. So I will give everyone a few more minutes. I know most people are coming to the replay just because it got rescheduled, but I'll give everyone a little bit longer. We just have another person entering. Overcast here. Yes, I'll take it too. It's honestly feeling very nice outside. I think it's like 74 here, which feels perfect. Hi, Jill.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
How's the weather where you are?
Well, it's storming today,
Uh,
but before that it was very humid and gross.
yes. It's about 74 here, so love
Nice.
it actually.
Yeah.
Amazing. Perfect. Well, I'm going to give everyone a few more minutes, but this might be it. Most people messaged me and said that they are coming to the replay, which is totally great too. So, how is everybody's Wednesday going? Mine has actually been really relaxed for a change. Yep, same. I was expecting today, since I had something specific to do. Often those days are super busy, but it was super easy and relaxed, which is perfect. Oh, your coach summit is today, so a lot happening, including this call. That's awesome. What is a coaching summit? That sounds really exciting. I love sort of like group settings where they're like coaches and other people who are like in your same field so that you can learn from them and their skills and their different styles. I think that's always so powerful to see how other people are doing things. I will go ahead. It's a live in-person wellness coaching event that should be happening now in St. Louis, but it's virtual. That sounds amazing. Those things are usually a party too, which is so fun. Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay, let me move over one. Here we are. So if you haven't seen it from last time, welcome to my free masterclass called Cookie Cutter to Cash Connection and Client Attraction, which is an exclusive look at my proven framework for growth and client attraction. And I will start by introducing myself. If you don't know me, my name's Sarah. I am a done-for-you service provider turned intuitive marketing and business mentor who helps online service providers reconnect to their passion, their intuition, and attract high-ticket clients by doing business their way. And I actually shifted my business from done for you once I found my success, because in the coaching industry, which I had put myself into as a client for a lot of coaches, I found a lot of the focus was on the money and the results, and not so much actually making sure that you were on the right path for you and that your business was supporting you and what you love to do, which for me, that left me so unaligned and disconnected from my business and myself that I wasn't enjoying myself anymore, really at all. I was making money and that was fantastic. I was able to support myself, not have to work a regular job, work from home, but I didn't love it. It kind of felt like a 9 to 5, which wasn't the reason that I started my business. But on a lighter note, I'll get into the fun facts, which are that I am from the wild and wonderful state of West Virginia, which it is so beautiful here. We are in the mountains. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's really the perfect weather and geography. And I would like to say that I'm a self-proclaimed weird girl, and I like it that way. I'm completely myself, and I often find that helps me sign clients because a lot of people will connect to you for being yourself rather than being some sort of cookie cutter version of you that you think you need to be to sign clients. I'm also gluten-free and more obsessed with food than ever, especially the food that I can't eat. That's the best type of food. I usually ask people around me, usually it's my family, to touch their bread because if there's warm bread around, I can't eat it, but that doesn't mean I can't experience it. And it's might be a little bit weird, but it's so fun and definitely worth the weirdness. I also consider myself an aquaholic, which is someone who is obsessed with water, and a hypochondriac. I'm a little bit germy or afraid of germs, especially with COVID. It got a little bit worse than usual, but that is the fun facts about me, and we can move right into my proven framework for growth and client attraction, which aligns with my values, which are working less, earning more, aligning and connecting so your business actually feels good. What to expect today is creating content that closes clients. So learning how to stand out in this space. You hear a lot that the online coaching, the VA space, the OSP, graphic design, whatever you may be, space is too full. There are too many people in it. There is no way that you can stand out. Everyone's doing the same thing, but the way that you can stand out is by being yourself and saying something different. And then we have connections over sales, which for me has become my proven strategy for creating an audience of superfans that are ready to buy from me rather than always having to chase that sale. And last, but most importantly, is releasing the hustle, the desperation for sales, and reconnecting to your passion for serving, whether that's the services you provide or the way that you're running your business, going away from those strategies and tactics that are feeling bad and you know that they're feeling bad. And I know from experience, you can tell when something isn't working for you, but because it's worked for someone else, you keep implementing it, even if it's not working, which it's not going to work for you if you don't feel right about it. And to start too, I want to say that I know where you've been. I've been a done for you OSP and I still am. I run 2 branches of my business now. I do done for you, and then I also coach because I want to help OSPs find the same success without all the fumbles, because I was offering things that I didn't like. And I hear a lot of people doing the same. They're offering engagement because that's the next big thing, or they're doing one-on-ones, or they're starting a course, even though that's not what they want to do. You don't have to do these things if they don't feel right for you. And now, with my new framework and how I grow in client attraction, I make over $8,500 with 3 done for you clients, and I only work 2 hours a day. And because my services are so high ticket, I am able to do both. And this is possible. And I have these little boxes down at the bottom of the slides, and they will be questions that I'd like you to answer in the chat. And the first one is, how many hours do you work in a normal week? The reason that I'm asking this question is because your paid hours and the hours you're actually working are often not the same. If you would have asked me 3 months ago how many hours I was working, I probably would have told you 60 when people were only paying me for like 15. And it's because I was doing things I didn't like. I was doing services that really drained me. Engagement had me feeling like, I like to say, the Titanic. I would literally take hours to do 15 minutes of engagement because I hated doing it. And that type of thing is a time waster in your business and something you need to get rid of. So variable, in actual hours, it's easily over 40 now that I try and calculate it. 30 hours a week. Amazing. How many hours would you guys like to work a week? Do you love what you're doing now? Because sometimes there's been times in my life where I love a full week, but now I enjoy the slowing down and with summer adventuring and getting out there and pursuing my other passions. Under 20 would be ideal. Totally. You would like to work 2 days a week. Absolutely. Me too. Working less and earning more is definitely one of the themes in my business because you can make so much money and such an impact when you stand behind your business, when you know how to connect, when you are really aligned. It doesn't always translate to a 40-hour week like we are conditioned into believing we have to do to make the income. So we're going to dive right into content and what it is. And this is a misconception that a lot of people have, that content is just what you're posting. So the feed posts, the reels, but that's not true. Content is everything. It's your entire presence online, from your Instagram to your TikTok, to your website, to your email marketing, to you showing up on your stories. That is all content and is the most powerful way for you to connect and attract with ideal clients as an online service provider. And I put this little like meme in the side, which was my face when I realized that you didn't always have to show up as a business person, that you could be a real person doing real things, eating fast food, showing your dogs, doing whatever, because that connection with someone else that has a dog, also likes to eat Chipotle, whatever that is going to put you in their head above someone else when they're thinking about getting help. So if you have a German Shepherd and they have a German Shepherd and you've connected on that, and they also know that you're a VA that does engagement or feed posts, they're going to see you first and see you above someone that's just showing up as all business. So creating that connection on a personal level has actually proven to be one of the most powerful things in my business, because people are having me top of mind because I am sharing who I am as a person, which leads us right into what is your favorite type of content to consume? And this goes a lot deeper than just like reels or feed posts or stories. Is it the content that is inspirational? Is it the results-based content like testimonials? Is it people actually like identifying with you and relating to you in a post? So I will check the chat for this one too. Results posts. Okay. I agree. When I was looking for my first coach, mentor, whomever, that's the first thing that I wanted to see, because I was so concerned about the investment. So I totally get that. Results post, especially when you're targeting newer entrepreneurs, especially, or people that you might be their first investment, results post really make them feel more comfortable with you. So more fun results, how to win posts. I like that too. Comedy. I like that. Yes. All of those are so good. So it's a lot of the deeper stuff. It's not the surface level content that you guys are connecting with, which is perfect. And that's exactly what your ideal client is going to connect with. So I decided to show you content that sells versus content that doesn't, and roast myself, because who better to roast than yourself, and show you where I was at and what I was posting when I had trouble signing a single client for my lowest ticket offer. And it is this tips and tricks, surface level content that really creates no connection. And I've posted on my feed about this before, but we are done for you, not DIY. So it's really important to post the content that your ideal client identifies with, because if you are, say, a coach that does fitness and nutrition, the tips and tricks are great, but they're not necessarily what sells your ideal client on wanting to work with you. They connect with your story, what happened to you, how you've transformed your life. The recipes or the tips and tricks, if you're a VA, that's all just very surface level, and it's sort of fluff on your feed. It's good to have, but it's not content that sells. And then for my content that sells posts, it's something that my audience resonates with very heavily. So a lot of the VAs and OSPs that I talk to, they get their audience full of coaches, and those coaches pitch them, and it's like an endless cycle that doesn't feel great because they're not able to get those people who they view as an ideal client to see them as anything but a lead. But at the end, you see that it turns into something positive. So it's getting them, hooking them with that relatable post that makes them feel seen, and then telling them that it's okay, you can change this. And I'm going to tell you how to do it because I changed it, but I see you, I see your struggle, and there's hope. Now we're going to get into the piece that doesn't sell. And oftentimes this is surface level. Like I said, it's nothing new or different. And a lot of the times it's something that Google can tell them. And for me, back then, I was Googling some of this stuff. So it's not like it was extra special. I was giving them some nugget of advice that I'd found through my proven framework or whatever the verbiage is. It was just content tips that didn't do much for anyone. And it didn't make me the solution. I wasn't making myself something that my ideal client needed when I was doing Done For You. I was just telling them how to do it themselves, maybe make their life a little bit easier, but it was nothing special. And it really creates zero connection. There's nothing in this post that is going to connect my ideal client to me. There are probably 1,000 other VAs, marketing strategists, whatever I was calling myself at that time, that are posting this exact same thing. So why would someone want to work with me based on this? There really is no reason. But the content that sells creates connection. Like I said, it immediately relates to the ideal client. And when someone immediately relates, they're going to read your caption. And that is when you have the opportunity to hook them, to sell them, to really connect with them on a deeper level. And that is where you are going to move up in their mind in options of people who they want to work with. And again, this is problem aware, but positive. There's a lot of talk in the space right now about problem awareness content because it can be so negative. A lot of the time it really presents itself as, this is what you're doing wrong. I'm the solution, period. It's not really positive. It's more making them feel bad and emotionally making them connect to the bad things that they're feeling rather than bringing up something that is a problem, but it's something that they definitely have the power to fix and it can be changed. And it goes deeper. It goes beyond telling them how to or what you're doing wrong. It relates to your personal experience, your way of doing things, and why you are the solution and different from what they hear in this space outside of your feed. Now we're going to talk about what I had to change to go from surface level to magnetic, and it's a lot. I was doing it all wrong. I was doing all of the worst strategies that you hear online. I was doing the cold DMs, the 3-2-1 engagement. I was forcing myself to follow 10 people a day and put them into a lead tracker. I was posting the tips and tricks. And I thought that the way that I built authority was through all of that. I thought that's how I presented myself as a legitimate business person. But it wasn't until I shifted my focus and my mindset away from the sales and away from the hustle, away from being so concerned with that 10K month that was all I could see, to really making connection, making sure that I loved what I was doing. My services were things that lit me up. And I was actually connecting, making real relationships with ideal clients. That's when I became magnetic. And now I have people coming to me weekly who are multiple 4-figure clients for done-for-you services, which I don't advertise online. And that's how powerful this framework is. Now I can actually talk about the framework, which starts with connections. It starts with relating to your ideal client, making them feel seen, making them feel like you know them. You're in their head, in their business. You make sure that you're creating content for them too, not yourself. A lot of the times, I think that we fall into the trap of creating content that we think they would like to see, or content that we think would land right with them. But is that actually what they're needing to hear from us? And this can look like doing market research. It can just look like listening to stories, because a lot of the times your ideal clients are complaining on stories about things that you can solve for them. So just listening and being present, and not in that mindset of needing to sell to them, seeing them as just a lead, you'll actually hear a lot more about what they need from you. So if you're, say, wanting to target like fashion bloggers, a lot of the times they're complaining about how they have to keep all of their brand deals organized, or they have all these posts, or they need to make collages and all of these things that you can help them with. But maybe you're not creating content to that because you're not listening. You're just doing what they think what you think they need to hear, which is not always the case. And a big one is don't post if you don't have anything to say. You'll hear a lot of social media gurus telling you these days that you need to post 10 reels, 8 stories, 2 feed posts, and 1 Instagram live. And that is a surefire way to create surface level content, because how could you create that much content and it all actually mean something? Yes. Yes, I see you nodding your head. Yes, I hear that all the time, that the fastest way to grow on Instagram is if you pump out all of this content. But when you pump out all of that content, a lot of it doesn't mean much. You're just trying to get out there, trying to get seen. But if people are seeing you and they're not connecting with what you have to say, is it worth it? Usually not. And this is your opportunity to say something unique and be different and not be afraid to sell, because you have something different to say. You are, chances are, if you're like me, you're complaining to your other friends in the space, your other friends that are coaches or VAs, about the things that you're seeing that other people are saying, and you're like, this is wrong. This is so wrong. And you're venting and you're venting. That type of stuff is what you should say. It's something different. It's unique. And if you're feeling it, other people are feeling it too. So don't be afraid to say something different, and don't be afraid to sell, because what you have is something that no one else has. And connection equals clients. So we're going to get into client attraction 101, starting with the bad practices for client attraction, which I have done all of them. Like I said, is the 3-2-1 lead gen, following an ideal client and immediately messaging them, not knowing their name when you're DMing them, going straight for business. It's the cold DM, which turns into an immediate no, and oftentimes those people will never work with you, and being all business all the time. And I have done them all. And the sad part is that I was taught to do a lot of these. I was taught to follow 10 people a day, engage with them, and then do that again the next day, and do it again the next day, and then follow a DM script to eventually pivot the conversation to business. All of these things really show to your ideal client. They show as disgenuine. They do not feel like you actually care about them in their business, and you don't. If you're messaging them within a week or a day of following them, you're really not caring about their business, and they can tell that you just view them as a lead, which is not going to sign you a client. So in the chat, let me know if you have been guilty of one of these bad practices, because like I said, I have done every single one of them, and I was taught to do them by multiple people. So there's no shame in it, because they are so commonly taught as ways to grow your business. Guilty of all at one point or another. Totally. It's because we're taught to do these things. We're taught that you need to follow this many people. You should message them immediately with a welcome message or all of these things that aren't genuine, because maybe you are excited that they're in your audience, but are you that excited? They need time to connect with you. Okay. Sometimes I think we're taught these things because they work at one time, but things change over time and we need to change them. Definitely. I've seen results from these, but a lot of the time, especially in the beginning of my business, I was targeting wedding creatives, and they would actually tell me that they had 50 VAs or 50 marketing strategists in their DMs, and they were all doing the same things and they hated it. They told me that they didn't even want a VA now. They didn't want a social media manager. They didn't want someone to help them because they were inundated with people messaging them. 3-2-1 lead gen is when you go to someone's page, you like 3, comment on 2, and then you message them, which obviously seems very not genuine that you are like rapidly consuming their content and then immediately messaging them. But in theory, when you're taught this, it's to show that you're interested. It's to show that you are actually consuming their content. But you're consuming it so quickly and in a way that is very spam-ish. But now that we covered the bad, we can get into the good. And it's all about stopping seeing your ideal client as a lead, a dollar sign, a stepping stone, and start seeing them as a human. That's what really changes the game. So for magnetic client attraction, I'm going to give you all my secrets, which my coach told me not to give you all my secrets, but I want to give you all the secrets because I think it's so important that we have the tools that we need to really become magnetic. And first is vetting your ideal client before you start engaging. I will actually consume their content, especially their video content, and see if they are an ideal client before I start engaging with them, because you'll attract nightmare clients. But if you are not vetting them, you might just sign them because you want a client. But vetting them, knowing their energy, knowing the way that they speak, the way that they interact, the content that they create will let you know if your ideal client is actually an ideal client or someone you should really just skip over and not give a follow and move on. I also like to let commonality lead my conversations. I wait until my ideal client says something that I identify with to message them, to comment, to really engage with them, instead of just starting the engagement, the conversation, just to start because they're a lead. So I let commonality, I let them getting Chipotle or walking their dog or complaining about the same thing I complain about or their Netflix show lead our conversation first. And then I listen to their problems and I offer them advice, again, with no pitch. So once you've had the conversations, once you made the connection and you're in their DMs often, you're making a real friendship or just connection online, then once they start to complain about something, you can offer your advice, offer free value, and let them know that you genuinely care about their business. And from there, I keep the relationship going. It's super easy to start nurturing a lead and then leave them behind for someone new. I try to keep my relationships going, not be a ghost, continue to make it known that I care about my ideal client's business, whether they want to work with me or not, and I never force it. I make sure that I'm not being spammy. So I'm not just commenting, I'm not just liking just to do it. I really have that genuine interaction. Let me check the chat box. I agree. Some of my coaches had success at the beginning of their business with cold DMs. Now everyone is in the DMs. Gotten better about follow-ups and stopping ghosting. Yes. I used to ghost people too. I would do the bad lead gen techniques and then I would just move on to the next 10 people. So I was not nurturing any of my relationships really at all. And the last one is being myself and sharing what makes me unique, sharing what makes you unique, because like I said previously, there are tens of thousands of other coaches, VAs, social media managers in this space. And the only thing that you have that they don't is that you're yourself. You do things your way. You are a unique human being. And that's how you have to set yourself apart to become magnetic, because people are attracted to your energy. Because I am so comfortable being myself and being unique and standing out, I make more money. I attract my ideal clients with my energy and my individuality. When I was realigning my business, I kind of created a ideal client profile, but not in the way that you would think, where it's like, she's 18 to 24. It's that she relates more. My ideal client relates more with being real, with being herself. She doesn't want some robotic Barbie coach to help her, or she's not interested in only the money. She's interested in a life of freedom and her values and having fun. That's my ideal client. And I make sure that every day I show up in that energy, and I show up showing my ideal client that I want the same. I care about having fun. I care about disconnecting. I care about my business supporting me beyond just the money. So, what makes you you, and how can you start sharing that with your audience? I share all kinds of things. Recently, I just shared today that I've been pre-gaming my calls by eating ice cream to like hype me up. But that's so fun. And so many people have messaged me and related that they also like do things to hype themselves up, like listen to music or whatever. And that is another connection that makes you stand out. Pro wrestler. I love that. That is so fun. I definitely know that there are people out there who also love wrestling, and that would set you way above someone who didn't share something like that. And that's something that a lot of people can't say. So that's something that you definitely should feel comfortable sharing and embracing. Yeah. Yes. Okay. But if you love Disney, which I know someone in here loves Disney, that's another thing that you need to share, because people connect with that. I don't know how many people I have talked to who love Disney, and I would also love to go to Disney. So 10 out of 10, you should be sharing those things. The most important one now is leveling up my mindset. And to do this, I had to release my obsession with the sales and the money and my expectations. I was so obsessive when I started my business with money that every time I would get a lead, I would go into my calculator, my payment processor, and calculate based on my packages, if they signed what, on what level contract, how much money that would bring into my business to bring me closer to that 10K month. Every single person in my business to me was a dollar sign, was a lead, and certainly not a human. So I had to release that, because that was keeping me stagnant, keeping me earning $500 a month, and keeping me from the business that would really support the life that I wanted to live. So instead, I focused on aligning my business with my core values. I reconnected with my passions and why I started my business, which can be really hard to do when all you want is the business that makes $10,000 a month, when all you want is to leave your 9 to 5, when all you see is these people bragging about how they got to $10,000 a month in 6 weeks, or they only work 1 day a month and they're making $100,000 or whatever. People are selling such a dream that it makes you feel like less than, because you don't have that. So what's wrong with me? Is it because I'm too young? Is it because I don't wear makeup? Is it because I don't do this, this, and this? And you lead yourself down this path of becoming so unaligned with who you are and within your business that you really can't grow, because you are not behind your business. You don't have the clarity. You don't have what you need to be strong, to stand behind your prices, to really sell your offers. That's what I was missing. And once I realigned and started only offering things I love doing, I started getting rid of those awful sales and lead generation tactics. Once I really leaned into my intuition and started connecting, now I earn less, or I earn more, I work less, and I love what I do. There's no more of that 9 to 5 feeling in my bedroom. I actually am able to live the life that I started my business for. So if you can master what I taught you today, you have the ability to attract ideal clients with ease. No more gross lead gen, no more obsessing over the sales. You can have high ticket clients, big cash months. Your business can be easy, it can be simple, and it can be aligned. So now what? Now you know how I went from a struggling done-for-you OSP who couldn't sell to save her life to a thriving CEO making 10K months, working 2 hours a day. But this was really only the basics. I had to dive deeper. There is a lot more to the strategies, the tools, and the implementation to really become magnetic. And that's what you need, is to become magnetic, which is why I am introducing my group program one-on-one hybrid. I launched one-on-one earlier this year, and I heard a lot of people who were in my audience saying they wanted something more. They wanted community, they wanted support in a bigger way, but they also wanted one-on-one. So this is the perfect balance, which is focused on aligning your business, creating magnetic content, building connections, and attracting dream clients. It's unlike any program you've seen. It's about going beyond the business. We deep dive into your core values, your passions, to create a business that you're actually obsessed with, the business that you wanted when you started. It's all about getting to know your client deeply, making them feel seen, and you actually get to feel like you, which is something that I lost. I did not feel like myself in my business. I was really perpetuating someone that I thought I had to be instead of feeling like me, which harbored those feelings of resentment and burnout and kept me from actually finding success. So this takes you from stagnant and struggling to thriving with an audience that is ready to sell out your offers. Because without the alignment, all the strategies really won't get you there. And I am living proof of that. The details are, it is a perfect combo of one-on-one and group. There are 3 group calls per month, one one-on-one call, 1 guest expert, and then you have unlimited Monday through Friday Voxer support with me as your one-on-one coach. And this is really for you if you are done having an audience full of ideal clients that only view you as a lead, if you're tired of hustling, getting lowballed or ghosted, which again is something that happened to me. I would go onto sales calls. They would say that they were interested in my biggest package, and then you end the sales call, never hear from them again. That is the worst. And it's also for you if you know there's something not right in your business, but you can't put your finger on it, but you know it's keeping you from your goals. And it can be hard to find those things by yourself. So if you're ready to do things differently, you're ready to be completely yourself, work less, and make more money, then Aligned Attraction Academy is for you. And since you guys came to my rescheduled masterclass, I'm offering an exclusive $500 off bonus for everyone that is here and signed up. You can sign up at this link below. I'll also drop it in the chat. But with the payment plans, this has the option to work with me for under $500 a month, which is the least it will ever be, and something I was really passionate about because I wanted to make working with me super accessible to all of my ideal clients. With that being said, I will drop that in the chat and we can open this up for any questions about this, any questions about the presentation, any sort of light coaching that you guys are interested in. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Also, I think we all need to go to Disney. Harry Potter world seems amazing. Like a dream. Yes, you're so welcome for the tips. I'm so happy that you guys were here. This is so special, and I'm so grateful to have you guys here for my first ever masterclass, which was amazing. I loved market research, and I knew that this would be just as good. So who is my ideal client now? That is a great question. I would say that my ideal client now is really any like beginner to mid sort of level or experience level of OSP who's interested in really trying to go more towards the intuitive side of their business. They haven't had the success maybe with the strategies. They are struggling to sign clients. They're really feeling like something is off, and they want to grow. They want to live the life of freedom and abundance and all of those things, but they're just not getting there, and they're feeling discouraged, especially when seeing all of these people find such amazing success so quickly, if that's even true. So we need to be authentic. So I know we need to be authentic and have great engagement, but is there an ideal number of engagement an account should focus on? I, for myself, try to just engage when I am naturally scrolling. I don't like to set aside a specific amount of time or a specific amount of people to engage with. I just like to build that into my time scrolling. So if I am going through stories, I'll try to respond to the ones that really resonate with me. And again, like if I'm moving through like my feed or my like discover page or doing the like discover reels, I'll follow people from there. Sometimes I'll go by like looking up the title of your thing. So if it's virtual assistant or social media manager, or if you're looking to target coaches or fashion bloggers, sometimes I'll look that up and go again, like based on the vibe, watch their stories, consume their content, and then engage with them if I'm actually looking to bring new people into my audience. But as for nurturing my audience, I just try and build it into what I'm already doing. So when I'm scrolling, when I'm consuming, I make sure that I have that authentic engagement. And it's more intentional because I'm actually trying to engage, because I'm a ghost follower. Oh, engagement on my end regarding what your IG's doing to make sure you're building engagement with your audience. I'm not sure I understand. Do you want to come on and ask?
Yeah, sorry about that. Essentially, like, okay, so like I know that like we are building genuine relationships with our individuals by like getting their DMs, making those genuine connections. But when it comes to like our like making sure that we know that we have like proper engagement, like when we do like a story and we put like oh, like answer this question or like yes no kind of stuff, like what like do you believe there should be like a goal that we should be like hitting to make sure that our followers are engaging with us as well versus us just always engaging with them? Does that make sense or no?
Yes, no, it totally does. So what I do for that, I like to add in polls and things like that when it feels right. So when it would naturally fall. So like for this masterclass, I was adding in like the check or the X, like have you signed up? Or like in my content, I try and post things that are like thought-provoking that my ideal client can respond to. So it's more genuine in that way. I'm not adding a ton of like polls and sliders and questions, but when it feels fun and natural, that's a great way to really check, like, are your ideal clients actually engaging with you? And the ones that are, they're like those real like spicy hot leads that are always voting in your polls, are commenting on your photos. I think that's a great way to identify who is actually one of those super fans within your audience.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. My favorite type of content to create and share is probably the deeper connection posts, I just like to talk. I'm a talker, and I like to share my experiences, and especially the experiences that I know other people are having. I know that you're also gluten-free and you've gone on like a health journey yourself. So I think sharing that type of stuff that people can identify with, but also just lets you like put your soul out there, put the stuff that's on your mind out there. That's the most powerful for me. And that's what I like creating the most. Okay, let me see if there is anything else. I think that is, yes, vulnerable, raw, authentic expression. I love that. I think that is all. If nobody else has any other questions. Okay, well, that's perfect. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Yay, yes, I can't wait to keep supporting you guys and seeing you in my feed. And if there is anything or any questions that you need, my DMs are always open. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'll go ahead and stop the share and sign off. Bye.